Sound on. Transition, and hello everyone. How are you doing, Mama?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
Doing well. And good evening, Chip Sounder. How are you doing this evening? And let's see, do I have anything fun or interesting to talk about? Since last time, I do actually. Just making sure I go over all of the things. But yesterday, I went and did some paintball, so that was pretty fun. However, my hips now hurt, and I barely did any running or moving it fast at all
I guess that's what happens when you don't run like every day and
anymore.
then anymore.
Yeah. Video
Oh,
gaming and a sedentary office life are not great for maintaining physicality.
sweet.
But you know what? It doesn't really matter that much.
I was reading Chip's comment here.
And Chip Sounder says, Happy had a cracking the cryptic feature, my 10th. That's awesome. It's very good to hear. I've definitely seen a number of your puzzles on cracking the cryptic. Hello, Laura Smith. How are you doing this evening? But yeah, and I am definitely excited to do another one of your puzzles here in a little bit, Chip. So, yeah. All right. I don't have anything else to share. So, Mama, do you have anything fun or interesting you want to share?
I don't have anything fun or interesting to share.
No worries. All right. I'm going to try and start remembering to remind everyone to do the fancy YouTube engagement stuff at the beginning of the stream. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. There's a notification bell you can ring, and there's also a donation link down below. You don't have to donate, but it is incredibly appreciated. And aside from that, is there any other? Oh, also, if you like video
Ooh.
games, I have the Final Fantasy VII remake that I am playing both Wednesday and Saturday this week because my friend is not available this weekend. So yeah, so make sure to ring the notification bell so you get notified when I go live for those streams. Chip Sounder says sequel time. And then Laura Smith says, I'm struggling to stay motivated, but have housework to do and a quilt to finish. I know Mum is excited about the quilt.
Yeah, that's what the ooh was about.
Yeah. If you would like to share any images of the quilt, you can send that to my Facebook page or my email. You should be able to find the email in the description section, and then the Facebook page is Old Man Joe Gaming, which I could advertise here real fast. So if I click that button, does that get me where I want? Not quite. I just do Facebook and this page, copy and a paste. There we go. There's the link in chat. That is probably the easiest way to contact me because YouTube doesn't have any easy communication method, which might be a good thing. I'm not sure. There's a lot of problems with direct messages, but I don't know. Social media is a mess. Let's see. Outside of that, motivational speech about getting housework done. I definitely know that I feel accomplished after I finish housework. It is definitely a struggle though. Mostly just to get it started. Once I get started, usually the tasks aren't nearly as awful. But if it's a task that takes like multiple attempts, those are definitely not fun. But it is definitely incredibly satisfying to accomplish housework, even if it's a task that has to be done over and over and over. My Sisyphean task is the dishes. They always pile up, but then I have to get back to it and get them done. But yeah, all right. I don't have anything else, so that makes it puzzle time, which would help if I moved. If I clicked all of the buttons correctly, I don't know how I ended up almost making that work right. Sudoku transition. First puzzle for today will be Peas, Bees, and Chips by Chip Sounder. An irregular 6x6 Sudoku. Irregular 6x6 Sudoku rules apply. Place the digits 1 through 6 once each in every row column and 6-cell region. Cells separated by a white dot are consecutive, and cells separated by a black dot has one digit double the other, a 1-to-2 ratio. Not all dots are necessarily given, and clues outside the grid give the sum of the digits along the indicated diagonal. Digits may repeat if other rules allow. And let's get started. Well, 10. It's going to be 4, 5, and 6, since those aren't in the same box. Oh. And 6 won't even be allowed here. So 4 is going to be moved from there. 14 and 7. So this has to be 1, 2, 4. And 3, 5, and 6. And then across the dot here, you're not going to be able to have a 5, so that's a 3, 6 pair. And then, aha! If we look at this column, where does 5 have to be? It's going to have to be one of these two, so these can't be a pair of 5s. So that's a 4, that's a 6, and then we're going to have 3 and 5 on both sides of that, so 5 ends up being here, and you get 1 or 2 in this spot. So that's not a 4.
6 can be placed in region 5, I guess it is.
It's got to be at the top. And a 1, 2 pair here. It's going to give us 3 and 6 remaining here. These two are no longer 6. Those are 1, 2, 6.
The black Kropke in column 4. I guess you already took care of getting rid of the 1, 2.
So it can still be 2,
the top
4,
of that
or 3,
column.
6.
The top of column 4, the 5 can.
And now that is fixed. One and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 6. If I can get the buttons pressed in the right order. So 9 remaining in the last 3.
Yeah. And the 5 is still still usable because of the
2 and 2.
Yeah. That.
And if this was
row
a 3,
4.
then these would be 6. So this ends up being a 2 in both cases, doesn't it? If this is a 5, then these two need to be 4, which would be a 2 2s. And if this was a 3, then this would need to be 6,
which is a 2 4.
2 4. All right, did you see something else?
Row 4 needs a 1, 2, and 4, so the 1 can be placed.
Laura Smith says 6 is placed in region 1. So these two 6s take it out of these two columns and this one out of that one, so it places it here. So we've still got what?
1 can be placed also in region 1.
So these two columns here and here, and then this one and that one leaves it here. And then we've got what, 2, 4, and 3? Well, that's 3 because of the 2, 4 here. So then this is a 5 and a 3 to fill out this region.
Yeah,
5
region
and
1 needs
3.
2, 4, and 5.
It's got to be here. So 2, 4 left over there. And then we got 3, 2, 4. First try. And then Chip Sounder, you said that there was a sequel. Was this one the sequel, or did I miss a puzzle? And then Laura Smith said, I emailed, I need to actually quilt it and bind it, and give it to my cousin. Housework sucks, but once I'm done, I feel better too. I emailed a picture of the quilt. The white behind it is the batting, as it still needs to be quilted and have binding added. Do you mind if I share it on screen? I want to make sure I have permission to do that. Cool. And then Chip Sounder says, yes, my very first puzzle was PB and Chip. So have I done PB and Chip? It doesn't sound familiar. But Laura Smith says that I can share the quilt images. So here we go. Let me copy this image into, actually, I just open this. Okay. And then, okay, so here's that. Now to get this on stream, I need to do a plus sign here, and then I need a window capture. This will be temporary. Select window, that one. And then we'll just remove all the extra stuff around it. Alright, and if I do that, now it should appear on stream. So yeah. It is very pretty. It's very green. I do like green. Yeah. I appreciate you sharing, Laura Smith. But yeah. Any comments, Mama, before?
Well, I know I said, "Oh, that's pretty," before it was, I mean, when it first
Yeah.
popped up on my screen.
Cool. When you do get it finished, you can send a finished picture. I'm gonna go ahead and take this off screen and go ahead and remove
Nice.
the source. Laura Smith says, I was going for green, white, and black. The backing fabric is a dark green. Cool. See, Chip Sounder said it had a 0 sandwich in row 2. Let me just go quickly look through my old videos. I think I might actually have to do this. If I do PB and let's just do PB Chip. Aha! November 11th from 2 years ago. And yep, there it is. And actually, if I copy and do a quick paste and go here. Let's see. I might just simply do a restart to not have spoilers. But yeah, this was the old puzzle that Chip Sounder had. Yeah. Let's see. Laura Smith, the first one I did was gray with touches of yellow. Nice. Gray and yellow go pretty well together. I'm going to go ahead and link this one in the video description. But I think we'll leave it unsolved. Solved previously. Let me try to remember to put a link to the video. Yeah. Sequel to above. There we go. That'll make the description make sense now, hopefully. Alright, we're going to take that away. And yeah. Laura Smith said, I emailed that one over as well. It has already been gifted and they are happy with it. Alright, let me pull that one up real quick. Let's see. Let me add my Windows source back in. Maybe I should just go ahead and keep that. Take that out of spam for some random reason. I'm going to need to add a new folder. New folder. There it is. This one goes there. And there it is. There it isn't. There it is.
Oh, so is the green one your second quilt? Very nice. Ooh, very pretty. That's very ambitious for your first quilt. That's very nice.
Alright, now it's on screen. Go ahead and take this away. And there we go. And then this was Laura Smith's first quilt. Let's see. I'm going to do some zooming in on it. So you can see, ooh, elephants.
Epilumps.
Laura Smith says, my cousins are having their first kids, and I decided to make quilts for each of them. Now my kiddo wants one too.
Of course.
And brilliant work from Chip Sounder. Yeah, I like the. I think I'm partial to the elephants because it's an actual picture, and I really like pictures of things more than just designs and patterns and stuff. But I do like how the tiling, the squares are like you've mixed and matched the different fabrics, patterns and stuff, so that it's not super repetitive. There is a part of me that wishes it was repetitive, but that part of me is quite silly. Is the obsessive, compulsive personality side of me. But yeah, so like the different, this darker triangle is matched with a different one each time, and they're rotated different ways and stuff. I really like that. Yeah, alright. Any last things you want to say on this one before I take it off screen, Mama?
Very fun.
Alright. That one off screen. And then put that, both of those emails, in my new fan mail email. Yeah. Alright. With that, alright. On to puzzle number 2 for today. Before I go on to the next puzzle, Laura Smith says, the elephants are my favorite and were the focus fabric for the colors. I was going for random with this one, and it took about a month start to finish. I've been avoiding the quilts that look like a X. Nice. Yeah, that pattern would definitely look very like a cross or just stripes if it had been repetitive. Yeah, and with it changing, it would look a little less not sure exactly what I'm trying to say, but it would still look like an X if it had been less repetitive. But I definitely, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. It is fun, interesting. I liked it. I don't know. Now I'm focusing too much on how I'm saying the nothing that I'm trying to say. All right, puzzle number 2 for today is a sequel to one that we stumbled upon a few weeks ago. From Cracking the Cryptic. I actually did the second one in this series before I did the first one. And then I forgot that I saved part 3, so we're going to do part 3 today. So, a lot of rules, but this is Cookie Crime Part 3 on the Scent. Let me make sure I get the puzzle link in the chat, which I now recognize that I forgot to put the first puzzle link in chat, so if you wanted to do Chip Saunders' puzzle, there was that one there. And then here is this one. Here we go. Cookie Crime Part 3 on the Scent by Sandra and Nala. Nala gathered enough information to have a good idea about the identity of the cookie thief. And the best part is, she knows where to look for him. All she has to do is follow the scent she was able to pick up from the shed fur she found. An easy job for a nose as good as hers. Follow along if you want to find the cookie thief as well. Matthew-esque rules apply. Draw a path that passes through all circled and rectangled cells. The path must go straight through the cells with the circles, with a turn in at least one of the cells immediately before or after each circle. The path must make a turn in the rectangles, but must go straight in both cells immediately before and after each rectangle. The path starts in box 1 on the cell marked with start, moving in the direction the arrow is pointing. The path ends on the culprit cell. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Place the digits 1 through 9 in every row, column, and box exactly once each. Additionally, the grid is partially covered in fog. Placing correct digits will clear the fog from surrounding cells, possibly revealing more clues. Digits in circles are odd and digits in rectangles are even. For each box the path visits, while it stays within the box, digits along the path must strictly increase from where the path entered the box up to where it leaves the box. Think build your own thermometer. The path is allowed to touch diagonally if it wants to, but it cannot touch itself orthogonally. Digits separated by a white dot are consecutive, and digits separated by a black dot are in a 1:2 ratio. Not all possible dots are given, there is no negative constraint, and drawings in the grid are simply cosmetic. A lot of rules. All right. The Evox81 says, Good evening, the Evox. How are you doing this evening? All right. I think the thing that I want to go over again from the rules is what the line means. So we have to draw a path that passes through all circled and rectangled cells. It goes straight through the circles, but turns in at least one of the two squares on either side of the circle. But for the rectangled cells, it has to turn in that box and then go straight through on each side. And then for each box the path visits, while it stays within the box, digits along the path must strictly increase from where the path entered the box up to where it leaves the box. Okay. I think that's all the rules about the line. Well, the path is allowed to touch diagonally, but not orthogonally. So that is the rules for the line. Evox says, I'm doing all right, a little tired, but otherwise no complaints. It is the time of nap. All right, let's get started. We are starting here. And so let's go with a green line. So we start here, and we have to enter the circle cell, and then it has to go through immediately, and then it has to turn. And then we go to another circle, so that has to go straight through, but now we have to turn. We either have to go up or we have to go down. However, we've got this box right here, which also has to turn through it. So this has to be connected, so it has to connect here. Now, it would be hilarious if it went right here. However, I have a feeling it's going to go this way. It doesn't loop. It does have an end. It just would be incredibly amusing for it to go right here. Although,
yeah, that would
I
have
guess,
to be the culprit.
Yeah, which isn't impossible.
No.
But I think because it has to go straight through, that sort of implies that it goes all the way to here. Seven
and
cells.
The line is within the are those circles now odd?
I don't think so. I could be wrong. There were a lot of rules. Digits and circles are odd. Yep.
Rectangles are even.
So that's a 3. This is a 5, 4, and a 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, it has to be even, so that's an 8, that's a 7. I don't know if I'm going to need coloring. 2 and 9 left over. Now, the black dot is a 1:2 ratio. I do remember that one. So the smaller digit can be a 1, which doubles to 2. 2 can double to 4, and 4 can double to 8. But the smallest digit could also be a 3, which would double to 6. Now this 3 means this one isn't a 6, and this it can't be an 8.
But it also looks like a black crop key to the right.
Definitely. So if this was a 3, it can't go to 6. And now this one can't be a 1. But this can be 1, 2, 4, or 8. Well, it's clearly not an 8. Well, this cannot be a 1 because we've got 1, 2 over here. So 1 is gone. So a 2, 4 pair takes out the 2. So that gives us 1, 9, and 2. That's not a 2 anymore. This can be a 2, which doubles to 4, which doubles to 8, or a 4, which halves to 2 and halves to 1. So this isn't a 4. Well, I could have just simply looked at this and be like, 2, 4, that removes 4.
But it would have to be the 2 on the left and the 4 on the right because the path within the box works like a thermo.
Yep. So that is how that one's going to work out. And now we've got a rectangle, which, since it can't touch orthogonally, we must now go into and we must turn. And then it has to go straight through. And now, since this is even, it's going to have to be a 6, because I already have 2, 4, and 8. What's left over? 3, 5, and 7.
Well, if you look at the thermo type of, that's 8 or 9. Well, yeah, 7 or 8. That's going to be an 8.
And then we must leave. But we could leave in either direction, and so we're going to have to enter the circle. Circles have to go straight through, and we have to have one bend on either side. Since I already have the bend here, we're not required to bend here. What's left over?
Well, that circle
3, 5, 7.
sees 3, 5, 7, and 9. That circle in box 3.
Mm-hmm.
It says, since it's odd, it sees 3, 5, and 7 in the box and 5 and 9.
This is what, 2 and 8 left over in the row, and then 4, 6, and 9. This can be 1 or 4.
It can't be a 1
Oh, because of the
because it's
dot on the other
bounded
side.
by, yeah.
Oops. I do not know that that's a 2 yet. This is 2 or 8. Now we've got a rectangle here, so this has to connect, which means this is the 2, this is the 8, this is an 8 here. And the only way for this to continue in the box would be to go to a 9, but then it would have to dead end. So it bends, and it had to bend, or never mind. Straight through the circle, we have to have a bend on one side, so this continues. This we know can go like this, so we're going to have to connect there, and now we've got one bend. That's a set of 3, and it can't be smaller than 4, otherwise it'd have to include a 1. So it's going to have to be 5, 6, 7. Alright, so we've got what? 1, 2.
Well, that's going to be a problem
3,
though
8,
with the 9.
9. Yeah, that is a problem with the 9. Did I do something wrong? One, 2, 3, 9.
But it has to go straight through.
And he's kind of telling me that had to be that way. Well, let's just sort of leave it as is for the moment.
Okay. Well, the square in row 5 sees 2, 6, and 8, so it's got to be a 4.
I may have
And
messed
that
up the
circle,
line.
yeah, maybe. Because it could bend at the 2.
Yeah. And then it goes through the 9 this way.
Yeah. But the circle in box 5 is also on a Kropke dot, and the only odd that can go on a Kropke are 1 and 3, and there's a 3 in the row.
Yeah. I'm not sure why I assumed that this 9 or that this circle had to go this way. Yeah, that was definitely a silly assumption. We're gonna go that way. Now this one.
Well, now it does have to bend after the 9 because it has to bend. Oh, no, it bent before. Never mind, it doesn't
Yeah.
have to bend again.
Now this one, if it did go this way, would have a problem with touching orthogonally. So we do know that this one has to go this way. And then the same is true here. If it went this way, it would touch orthogonally. So this one we know has to go that way.
And it has to bend at the 4.
Correct. Which it can't go this way, because it would touch orthogonally again, so it has to go this way. This is a 7, because I see 5, 6, and 8, and it has to escape the box unless that's the culprit. So this is 7 or 9, but if it's a 9, it stops. And it has to go straight through, so that would be a 7. And then, does this one have to be a 9? Still has to be odd.
Mm-hmm.
1 and 7 are
Well,
1.
it's got to be larger than 7.
Right. I don't know why I put in all of that stuff. Silly me. Continue through. This one went straight through, so this one has to bend. And it can't go here because then it would touch the line again.
Doesn't that white Kropke in box 5 have to be from 4, 5, and 6?
Well, it
It
can't be
can't
a
be 2.
4.
It can't be 2, 3 because there's a 3 in the row. And 8 is, but yeah, so it would have to be from 4, 5, and 6. Oh, no, there's a 4 in the box. Never mind. Yeah, you pointed that out and I totally missed it.
That happens. I've only done that like 1,000 times. 2. So these two 2s, place a 2 here. I still need a 3, which can go in
On
either
the
one,
right.
and an 8. Oh, this is the 8. 4, 6, and
3.
then these 2.
5 and 7.
I was doing so well with scanning up here, I completely lost it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
8 and 9.
Odd. It has to be a larger number. Well, it's left over in the column. 4, 9, 2, and 8. Well, 9's the only one that's allowed in that spot. Consecutive pair. This one's minimum 4, so that's minimum 3.
Well, column 8 is left with 1, 3, 5, and 7.
So this one has to be even. 2 and 8 are gone. 4, 6, 5, 7. Okay. This one, if it goes this way, it would touch orthogonally, so that's not allowed. So it goes through. And then since this one went straight through, this one has to bend. It's odd. 7
1,
and
3,
9
or
are
5.
bending.
Yeah.
Laura Smith confirms that. 1, 3, 5, 7, and 8, I think, are what's left over in the row. 1, 3, 5, 7, and 8. So then this one, the 1, 3 up here, 5. Take those out.
Row
Where Smith
4.
says 2, 4, and 8
Oh.
left over in row 6. And then you said row 4 is
6, 7, and 9, and the 9 can be placed.
so 6, 7 here. 1, 3,
1,
and
3, and
5.
5. Yeah.
Get 5 here because of the 1, 3 pair. 5 is removed from here, and those have to be consecutive, and 2's not going to work. So that's going to be 8 and 7, and 8 again. 4, 6, 7, 2. 1's got to be smaller than 2. That's even. 2, 4, 6, 8. That's 4 is the last one that's left over. 1's 7, 4. All right. It's left over in column 1.
2 and 9.
And then 1 and
1.
6.
Yeah.
Odds in the circles. So that's a 3. And we have found our culprit. And then this has to go through, and then it has to... I guess it has to turn because of 8, 9. 8, 9. 2, 9. 2. 3 has to be smaller than 4. Those have to be consecutive,
There's a
and
4,
this one's
6
only
pair.
even. So 7 pairs of 6, a 4, a 1, a 3, 4, 6, 6, 1, and then finish here. Yay! Congratulations, the solution is correct. It turns out that our other dog, Henry, was the cookie thief. How dare he, Nala thinks, giving him the side eye. This? But knowing Henry, the cookies are still somewhere. He prefers duck over chicken and has likely not touched them. Knowing that allows Nala to go and check his usual hiding places, and she is successful on the first one already. Happy end. And then we have the solution here in digits from row 9. Copy and a paste. But yeah, that was a pretty easy puzzle. Was there really anything tricky in it? Other than just absorbing all of the rules. I think the only thing that really slowed us down was this one, and that's because I just simply made an incorrect assumption that had to go this way. But it didn't prevent us from solving the puzzle. Or require us to backtrack that much. But yeah, Laura Smith says that Masio is tricky if you aren't familiar. And yeah, it could definitely be a stumbling block to wrap your head around. But yeah. Yeah, I don't think there was anything like tricky. Some of the about the rest of the puzzle, of course. Um, I took some time before I filled in this box, so that definitely slowed me down. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and go with very easy on that one, and that is that. Let me make sure I take out the Sudoku pad link. Oops, almost took out the wrong one. From that puzzle, and then we are going to do one from the Cracking the Cryptic channel, or more accurately, one that was featured on the Cracking the Cryptic channel. And this is 8 by Daniel Buckleby. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Divide cages into lines of 2 or more orthogonal cells. Digits may repeat on a line. Each cell in a cage contributes to exactly 1 line total. The total of the sum of digits on every line is 8. 2 lines are shown already. So basically, that means that these 3 sum to 8, and so do those 3. And so we might consider that these 2 would sum to 8, but maybe it's these 3, or maybe it's just these 2, and those 2. And then we have to make
Well,
sure we
does that
fill.
imply that the cages in columns 1 and 9 are 8?
Yes, those will have to be 8. But let me go ahead and get the link to the puzzle into chat real fast, and then we'll get started. Okay. Well, one thing I know is that any set of 3 that sum to 8 have to have a 1 on them. So then that is also true of this one, so we get a 1 here. Which means these 2 are 7, which is either 2, 5 or 3, 4, but the right one can't be a 4, so the left one can't be a 3. And then this is just simply going to be the other set, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, these 2 aren't 4, so this one over here isn't going to be a 3. But that means everything else, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, got a 7, 8 pair. Take out of that one. Another thing we know already is that these are going to have to be an 8, 9 pair. Where this 8 is going to go ahead and fix those. Since we know that these lines have to be, or the cages have to be filled in by blocks of 2 or 3. Okay. Well, whatever this is, right? If I make this one, well, actually, let me just go ahead and grab a red line. This has to connect to here. Could it connect to this one as well? Well, if it did, we'd have to include a 1. But this one down here says that's not allowed. So we know that this can't go up to that one, so that this now starts its own line, which would then have to go up to there if it was a set of 3, but by the same logic, that's not allowed. So we know that this one is blocked off by itself. So then this has to connect there. This one, however, could go across to that one. So that's not, we don't know if that is done yet or not. So let me go ahead and mark those. Now these 2 are, we know, are connected, but we don't know if it goes up 1 more or not. I guess one thing to think about is the high digits on on my sets of 2 here, I need to have 5, 6, and 7 all on this column. Well, 7 pairs with 1. And as Laura Smith points out, 7 only has one place in this column, and that's going to be here. Because it can't go here, and it can't go here for the exact same reason, because it has to pair with a 1. So this is a 7, which has to pair with a 1, which means that this is blocked off, and then we get a pair of 2 there. It might be a 3, we don't know yet. And now we ask about 6.
Well, and now we can place 7 in column 7.
It's not here, it's none of these 3, and it can't be that one, but it could be 7 and 1 here.
Right, and it cannot go in the spot highlighted in box 3 because it would have to be followed by a 1. And
Could be here.
if right, well, then the row 2 would have to be 3 cells to make the 8, and you can't do
Oh,
that because of the 1.
I see that now. So this is blocked off because of the 1, which I ignored. Laura Smith confirms the 3 cell 8 need a 1, and 1 is gone in row 2.
And you can place the 1 in column 7 also, next to the 7,
right.
or above the 7.
Let's take this one out, and then 6 is removed from the left side. And then Laura Smith, was the can't be a 3 in reference to this one or something over here? But we do know that those two have to be paired together, and then since there's the 1, this gets blocked off. Laura Smith confirms that the can't be a 3 was in reference to this one. And then those two, but this could sneak inside here. So I need to think about where can 6 go in columns 3 and 7. Well, it's going to have to go on one of these, and that's going to have to pair with a 2. So we have 2 getting removed from... I guess what I should simply ask on here is, could I put a 4 in either of these two? Well,
Yeah,
I can if this one sneaks inside.
Where 4s can go.
If the 4 sneaks, if this line is a set of 3, it could sneak inside. So that's
one of.
But 6 would have to pair with 2, and either of those, so 2 definitely gets removed.
Well, and since you have to have a 4 in both columns 3 and 7, we know it can't go from row 3 to row 4. And it can't fit. So it would have to either be for row 3 has to go, or column 3 has to go into row 5, or column 7 has to go in row 5. So one of those two is a 1. Row 5, columns 4, or yeah.
Yeah, and I just saw now that this one goes down to there, and so that one gets blocked off. So then this gets connected because those two have to be together. Because this has to sneak inside because we know we can't put a 4 on any of those, so this is a 4. And now 4 has to go in here, and since it can't go on this one, it has to go on this one, and so the 1 has to sneak inside. Okay. Just recovering the logic that Mom already went over.
Yeah.
Just to super confirm that this doesn't extend one more.
So now the 6 in column 7. No, that's 2. Yeah.
You would think I'd know how to do math by now, but apparently not necessary. Well, this can't have a 2 on it, so this has to be 3, 5. Because it can't be 1, and it can't be 2. So the next available is a 3.
1, 2, and 6. Or no, 2, 6, and 9.
2, 6, 4, and 9.
Oh yeah, I
And
forgot the
this
4.
one can't be 2, 6, or 9, so it's the 4. So now this one is either 1, 7, or 3, 5. 7's not allowed on top, so 1's not allowed on the bottom. These two, they can't be 1, 7. So that's still 2, 6, and 3, 5. 6 is removed from this side, so 2, and then 5 as well, so 3. Two, 6, and 3, 5. This is 2, 6, and 3, 5. The left can't be a 3, so the right isn't a 5. I think that can still be a 3. 2, 5, 6, and 3 is, yeah, that would work. But whatever those two are, they're those two. Actually, maybe I highlight those in blue. But this could still theoretically be that as well.
4 can be placed in box 9.
These are these two 4s.
1 can be placed in box 9.
2, 3 pair. 2, 3 pair here then. 5 and 6 is left over, and these two are 8, 9. And that 8 tells me it goes this way around. 5, 6, and 7. Whatever this one is, it's not that one. None of that's gonna solve anything. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, this one has to be 3 or 5, because I have to have the other from 3 and 5. Or actually, no, I could be down there. Because I forgot that this one wasn't fixed. Okay. 1, 4, 8, 2. And that one's not a 9, and these two aren't 3 or 5.
Box 3 needs 1, 3, 5, and 7. And 1 can't be on the right, 7 can't be on the left, yeah.
Okay, that means this one isn't 3, 5 then, because then those would both be 7. So this is 2 and 6, 3 and 9, a 6 here. 3 is gone, so 5 is gone. What's left over? 8 and
5.
And then we still also need a 2 and a
9.
3. 3 is paired with a 3, 4. This 6 takes a 6 out from this one, taking a 2 out from the top. Two, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3. Laura Smith says 1 in box 4. These two ones say no to everything here. And then that can't be a 1 because it would have to pair with a 7. And this can't be a 1 for the same reason it would have to pair with a 7. So that gives us the 1 in box 4, as Laura Smith points out. Just in case I forgot to read your name as I was reading your comment. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got a 1, a 2, a 3, a 5, a 6, and a 7, but not an 8. So I don't have enough space to fit all of those, so I still have to take one of them outside. So then
4
what?
can be placed in box 2.
Right here, because of these two, and that one. 6, 7,
6, 7,
9.
9, and 2. Yeah.
2. Laura Smith says 4 in box 1, so these two 4s remove the top half. So in here, can't have a 4 there, and then that can't be a 4 because it must be part of 8, and you can't have it be 2 4s.
4 could be
4.
placed in box 4.
Because of that one, and these two, and not there. 4, 4, 3. So now this is a 2, 6 pair, which takes a 6 out of this one. And then this is the 5 above 3. 3 and 5 is gone. This is a 7 paired with a 1.
And that 1 does work
8,
to box
5,
3.
5, 1. 5, 7 is gone.
8 can be placed in row 4.
Not this one. It's this one, because nothing else can be 8. This is an 8 and a 7. Laura Smith says the 2, 6 pair in row 2. That's 2, 6, 9. Row 3. 2, 6, and a 6 gives us a 7, 9 pair, which is going to place a 3. 6, 2, 6, 2. Then those two and that one. It happens. It's easy to mistype. 2, darn it, 2, 6, 3, and 9. But apparently, 2, 9, and 6. I'll see that one. So that's a 3, 9, 2, and 9, and a 6. 2, 7, 5, 3, 9, 6, 2, and 2's are gone from here. 1, 3, 4, 5, and 7 is left over, and that 5 is what fixes it.
All right, row
This
1 needs 3 and 5.
Doesn't seem like they're fixed quite yet, but now they are. Eight and a 2. There we go.
Nice.
And let's see if I can find this puzzle on Logic Masters Germany. And I'm going to look up by author name. Apparently not. Does not seem like either of those fit. So, we're going to go ahead and leave it at that. Laura Smith says, huzzah! Alright. It was a pretty fun puzzle. The logic with the 8 in here was interesting in the consequences that it had. But yeah, alright, let's do the next puzzle. Counting to 7 by Zetamath. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Renban line. Digits along a Renban line must form a set of non-repeating consecutive digits in some order. Numbered rooms. A clue outside the grid indicates the digit which has to be placed in the nth cell in the corresponding direction, where n is the digit placed in the first cell in that direction. And to explain what that means, let's say I placed a 3 right here where this 4 is located. So then I would count 1, 2, 3, and I'd place that 4 here. And if this was, say, a 6, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and place the 4 there. Hopefully that is clear enough. Yeah, alright. Then let me get the puzzle linked into the chat. And then also into my notes. Wrong button. I think I will always make sure that I stream never just the full screen that I'm using, because I click on the wrong buttons all the time. I definitely don't want all of those little random mix-ups happening on stream, even if it's like nothing important, but I have a lot of like notepads open that have random notes on them. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I don't really need an accurate time, so let's go. Well, this 1 could be placed anywhere. I could even place a 1, because it would place a 1 in itself. But 1 is removed from anything else around. And also, where these 2 are located, and those 2, and these 2, these are in different sort of categories. So, if, say, this one was a low digit, say 1, 2, well, it couldn't be a 3, so let's say it was 1 or 2. Then this one would have to be from the group 4, 5, or 6. Because if they were in sort of the same category, let's say this one was also 4, 5, 6, then this would place a 3 in one of those. And then this would also place it in one of those, and you can only have 1. So then these 2 have to be in separate categories. And so if I've got 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6, 2, 3, 4 could technically work. But 5, 4, 3 isn't going to work. Nor would 5, 6... Well, I could do 5, 6, 7. So I don't think that's helpful. Laura Smith says the 1, 2 seems important for those box 1 Renbands, though. So
Yeah,
let's think about how that is.
The 1 cannot reference itself. Because for the 2, that would be 2 and 3 on that Renband line.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can't put the 2 under the 2 because that would reference, well, that would screw up the 2.
Yeah.
If you put a 3 there, it would break up the Renband.
Wherever I put the digit 1 in this box, it's going to make it a 1, 2, 3, a 4, 5, 6, and a 7, 8, 9. So could this be from 1, 2, 3? Well, the answer to that question is no, because of what you just went over. Because if this was a low digit, then it would be forced to be a 1. But then the 2 would be forced to be one of those 2 when it had to be one of those 2, just to make all of that be on here. So could it be 4, 5, and 6? Well, I don't see any reason why it couldn't be. That would just put our 1 in here and our 2 there. Except, well, no, this wouldn't be an issue. This would be 2, 3, 4. So that would immediately take 4 out as an option.
Yeah, 1 can't go in column 1 in box 1, and 2 can't go in column 2 in box 1.
Yeah. So then is this Ren band like the important last element? Because it would have to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it would have to have a 7 on it. Oh, let's just say for funsies, this was the 1, 2, 3, and then this one's the 7, 8, 9. So 7 is gone. Well, this couldn't have a 9 on it, so that 9 would be forced in here. So then we
Row
also
s
have 6.
row 6, column 3 cannot be a 7.
Row 6, column 3.
Because it's the 7 that would have to be a 7 on the outside, or 7 that would put 2 sevens in
Right.
the
Laura Smith asks, where does that put 1 in column 2? Well, you couldn't put 1 on here, so it would be forced to go here. So then that takes 1 out of that one. Ah, what about this one? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, it can't have 9 on it, so it must have 6 and 7. 6, 7. That gives us an 8, 9 pair and a 7. Now, I think the 1 and the 2 kind of get forced, so that these two have to be from this sort of orientation, regardless of how they're placed. So if I ignore this half for a second, and just think about these two Ren bands,
where would 9 go in column 2?
9. That's forced by that, but 4, 5, and 6. So then 4 and 6 gets removed, so 5 is placed. Oh, that would just simply place the 2 here. Oops. Okay, and then you ask where the 9 would go. Well, that would force it here. Five would get removed because of that, so it would have to be 6, 7, 8. Okay. And so now the question is, what does that have on it? Laura Smith confirms the 9 is here. Now this was just simply if this was the middle orientation.
Right.
So then this would have to be 6, 7, 8, 9. Excuse me. 5, 6, 7, 8. And since 6 and 7 would be placed 6 and 7, 8 and 4. So then you'd have to have 1, 5, 8, 9.
Except the 8 in box 1
Right.
takes the yeah.
And then 6, 7, 8. 5 and 4. Yeah, so that would be 1, 2, 3, and 9. And this one, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1. So we've
Now,
got 2 or 3, and then 4 and 5.
row 9, column 3
Row 9, column 3, this one.
cannot be a 9 because that would be 7 and 8 above the 2 3s, which
Yeah.
would put them in the same box.
Which we already sort of discussed, that doesn't work.
Right.
And 1
And
would
it can't be a
also
1.
be an issue. That gives us a 2, 3 pair. Okay, before we get too far ahead, that is just if this is this way. What if this happens to be the high version? So we get 7, 8, 9 up there. Well, if we have 7, 8, 9 there, then this one is 2, 3, 4, and a 1. And this one is 5, 6, 7, or 8. It can't have 9 because then it would be 9, 8, 7 and break this one. This is going to get crowded quickly, but that's fine. Take out the 7. So then 2 gets removed.
Okay, in box 7, the way it is right now,
Box
row 9,
7.
column 3, yeah. That 2 or 3, neither one would work. Because if it's a 2, it's either going to go to 1, 3, which is in the same box, or
Right.
3, 4, and you can't have 3 on either of those lines. A 3 on that ren band above the 3s at all.
Uh-huh.
And if it's 3, it's either... Oh, no, it would be 2, 4, and that would work, sorry. For some reason, I
But,
saw the...
never mind. That's a different orientation. 2, 3, 4, we make 5s there. Then you'd have 3s here and there. Well,
yeah, and
those
the
two
3
wouldn't work.
The box 7, 3 would work up to the box 1, so to orient those.
Okay.
It resolves the 2, 3 on the ren band in box 1.
Right. Oh, on the ren band in box 1? Right.
Mhm.
Now, these can also be swapped still.
Right. Yeah, I know. We were just going with if it's the
Yeah.
lower, if that now it's the higher ones.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't know which way is which yet. Let's continue this one being the low version, and this one being the middle version then. 1 would get removed from this side. 2 has to be down here, and which would pair with 3. This would have to have a 1 on it because of the 1 here. Okay, that was the issue. All right. If I make this high, 7, 8, 9, then that places a 1 down here and a 2 here. Well, where does my 1 go in this box? Well, it can't go here, and it can't go there, because if there was a 1 on this ren band line, it would have a 2, so that would conflict with that. So then my 1 would have to go here, but then that would break the 1, 2, 3 there. So that forces the low digits. But then this is a 1, 9 pair, this is a 2, 8 pair, this is a 3, 7 pair, but this has to be 5, 4, and 6. 1, 4, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 is like that. 3, 2, 4, 3, 3. Why isn't that a 3?
Did the
Well,
2,
3's
4 have
7.
to be in that order in box 8?
Yes, because of this.
Oh, right.
And that has to be a 5. Why isn't this a 3? Oh, because it's the 3 in the box. Okay. I'm awake. One of these two is a 9. And then these have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Neither can be a 6.
And
Not that that really
row
matters.
6, column 3 cannot be a 7.
Right. Okay. 3 is definitely removed. So is 2 and 4. And then this one isn't a 1, but now it doesn't have 2 on it, so it can't have a 1. So we have to have 6, 7, and 8 on it.
For rows 7 and 8, the 4's on the outside. We know one of them is 9 for the first after the yeah. But the others have to be from 2 or 3 because there's a 4 in box 8.
Right. And then this isn't the 3, because there's already a 3 in the row. Oh, and so if this was a 2, it would place the 4 right here. 2, 4 will break.
Or
So that
break
actually
that.
takes 2 from both of these. This is 3, that's 9, this is 4. 1, 2, 4, and 9. And then the 2 9s here take 9s out of all of those. These are gone from there. Well, clearly neither of those is a 1, so we get 6 here and there. Laura Smith says the 7 room is in position 2568. 2568. Well, it can't be a 5. There's a 3 there, so take the 5 out. 6, and it can't be 8. So we can take 8 out. 2 can't be a 3. 4 can't be 4. Can't be 5. 6 can be 7. 7 can't be 7. 8 and 9. Okay, yeah. So 2 and 6 is what's left there. It's either here or it's there.
Oh, well, the 5 room from at the bottom of column 8. Well, that can't be. Well, it can't be 1 because, it can't be 2, 3, or 4 or 5. So it's 6, 7, or 8.
Which
So
means it
5
has to go
has
on
to be
here.
on there.
So 4, 5, 6, 7. Whereas 6 has to be in the top
Could 3 be on it?
half. No, because it has to be 5 and 6. And because the 6 from the 2s here force it to be on here,
Oh, right,
you can't have the 6 here, so it has to be 7, 8. So this
right.
is actually a 5, 6 pair. Got this Ranvan left? Oh, one of these is a 2, so it can't be this one. That's a 6. That's a 7. This is a 5. Those aren't.
And 7 comes off of the rest of
Off
that
of the
red
rest
band.
of the Ranvan.
And
One, seven,
box
and
3
nine.
incidentally has a 2, 4, 5, 6 quad. I guess it's a 5, 6 and a 2, 4 pair.
Okay, I think that is all organized. Five,
There's a 2
six, seven.
X-wing in rows 2 and 3.
Laura Smith says 3 in box 6 is in row 5. So these two threes. But not column 9 because of the 3 there. So that diagonal Renban has no 3 on it. Which means it can't have 1 or 2 on it. The minimum would now be a 4. And those two aren't 4. That's not a 4. But this one still theoretically could be. Neither of these are 7. This one isn't a 9. 5, 7, and 6.
Row 6 is left with 2, 8, and 9.
That's 9. So we have to have
It has to
5,
have at
6,
least an 8 or an 8 or a 9. Or well, it has to have at least an 8.
8, 7, 6, 5. You can't have a 4. So yeah, so 5 and 9. 8, 7, 6, 5. Yeah, 5 and 9 are the ones that we're
It has to have a 7 on it,
questioning. Yes.
and that's placed.
This isn't 7s. That's an 8. Places a 5, places a 6, places a 2, places a 4, places a 6, and takes that out. 4 is here because of the 7. This isn't a 6. Has
And
to have
6
a
is
6,
placed.
though.
Yeah.
Okay, this isn't an 8 because of this over here. The 7 over here takes the 7 out. This isn't a 6 because of that. 7, 6. Neither of those is a 6, so that is 8, 5, 8, 6, and 7. 8, 2, 9, 7, 3, and 1. One of these two has to be an 8. If it wasn't, the Renban wouldn't work. So this can't be an 8 because it would remove it from both of those. So that's a 2, a 9, an 8, and a 5. 5, 6, 7, 8. You'd think I would know how to click things in order, but you know.
Column
Threes. Column
8 needs a 1, 2, 3.
About column 6. 3, 4, 8. The 8 has to go here. That's 3, that's 4. So that's 1,
Row
that's
8
3.
needs a 5.
Row 8 needs 5. I also need a
So it's
1.
1 and a 6.
6 here, 1 there. This is this 6 here.
Mm-hmm. Well, box 5 needs 1, 4, and 9.
9. This one. 4, 9. Places a 1. And then the 4 here places 9. So that's 4. I had trouble seeing both of those 4s. Took those 2
Yeah,
out.
row 4 needs a 2. And then a 5.
2, 5. That's the 2 there. Laura
And
Smith says 1 in box 6, which is going to be on the left side here, and then 7 to
7.
finish it. I need a
8
3
in
in
the
here.
column 9.
This 3 is going to go here. Need 7 and 9 left.
Yeah.
Which way to go. This is also going to be 7 or 9, but there's already a 7 in the column. And then I need 1, which this one tells me it's here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7. There we go. I think Sadamath puts their puzzles on
I don't recall.
Project Masters Germany. Yes. Here we go. And row 5. Zatamath also streams solving Sudoku puzzles 2 days a week, as well as Let's Plays of puzzle games like Blueprints. Go check out Zatamath's channel. I'll make sure I link to Zatamath on the video description. So let me go ahead and open. Actually, if I do copy link and then paste it up here, I actually need to remember that. Here's where I can paste that. Then I can make sure that I link to their channel. And again, I clicked the wrong button. Alright. Try and find the right things again. Catching up on chats. Chip Sounder says he does settings streams too, and the chat get credit as well. That's pretty cool. And Laura Smith says he also periodically sets puzzles on stream, which tend to be published under Zeta and Friends. Nice. I'll have to see if, if I do a, I need to rate this puzzle before I navigate away from it. Very nice puzzle. Challenge rating. Honestly, it wasn't that bad. Just thinking through the consequences of these 2 Renbands was really important. Or I guess maybe this Renband, or I guess it's really all of these Renbands, all 6 of these in the first 3 columns. Yeah. But as far as working through that, that's kind of on the easy side. Laura Smith says, I say 2, 3, but too much thinking for me at the beginning. Yeah, it's definitely pretty tricky at the beginning. Let's go with average. I usually rate it like 1 star above what everyone else is rating it, so that seems in line with how I usually rate puzzles. Alright, then I was going to look for searching puzzles, advanced search, and then I wanted friends. Well, maybe if I just look up Zatamath again, then if I just grab, I don't know, a random one. Well, I tried. What if I look up just simply Zeta? Nope, I tried. Although, for some reason, could I put a star here? No. Okay. Zeta and friends. Well, I tried. Alright. Let's do the last puzzle, which is going to be a Chip Sounder puzzle. One of Chip Sounders puzzles featured on Cracking the Cryptic. Go ahead and, well, I can't grab the link right away. Anywho, so this puzzle is Keep Being You by Chip Sounder. Normal 6x6 Sudoku rules apply. Place the digits 1 through 6 once each in every row column and 2x3 box. Adjacent digits along a green line must differ by at least 3, and digits on an arrow sum to the connected circle. Cells separated by a V sum to 5, and cells separated by a black dot has one digit double the other, a 1-to-2 ratio. Alright. Copy and paste and grab the link, enter, and paste there. Save. Alright. Let's see, where do we begin?
At least, oh yeah, because it's a 6.
Well, I do know that these are going to be purple and green. Chip Sounder said, I made this puzzle because a YouTuber who is blind and autistic chose me to be a moderator to prevent trolls. Nice. One of these two is purple, so both of these are going to be green. And, okay, so then this has to be a green-purple pair, and that has to be a green-purple pair, so this is a green-purple pair, so this is purple. And these two are the same. You're going to make that orange and black. So one of these is the same as those. So these end up being the same, those end up being the same, and those end up being the same. This one is orange. Those don't have to be on opposite side groups, but these two have to be an orange-black pair, so then this one is going to be orange.
In box 4, the horizontal of the green is an orange-black pair. So the circle is going to be black.
So we've got one orange here, one orange there, and one of those is also going to be orange. So that's going to be 3 oranges. And since we know that those are on opposite sides of the 3-4 boundary, we know one is 1, 2, 3, the other is 4, 5, 6. Now it can't be 5, so this is going to be 2, 3, 4, 6. But it's still possible for this one to be 3 and this one to be 6, but not possible for this one to be 2 and therefore this one being 4. Yeah. There's 3 doubles to 6 and you have a 1, 2 pair. 4 would be 1 and 3. And then 6 would be 1, 5, or 2, 4. Four would be 1, 3, but that would be a 2. Okay, so I don't think there are any conflicts, regardless of how I order those. these two are semi-fixed. More accurately, these two are fixed. They cannot be 3 or 4. Because if I were to place a 4 here, then it would have to differ by 3, which would force 2 1s. So that's not going to work. And the same is true here, 2 1s. So that's a 3-4 pair. So this is a 1-2 pair, and now orange is blue and black is red. We can take out 6 and 3. This cannot be a 4, because then those two would both be 1. But it could be a 5, making that a 1-2 pair, and then this 1 or 2. They're not in the same box. These can't be 4s.
Yeah. That's...
but that one still could, making that a 1. Whatever these two are, it's going to have 3 or 4 on it. Which means one of those two is going to have a 1 or a 6 on it. I don't know if that's helpful at the moment, though. I kind of want this to be a 4 and a 1-3. Oh, it can't be 1-3. Because blue has to be one of these two. And so if this was 1-2-3, then
right.
That would be broken. So this has to be 6. This has to be 3. That's not a 3. That's not a 6.
And the 3 is followed to a 6 on the green line.
Right. Gives me the orientation over here. Okay, well the next most restricted is these two. They cannot have 3 or 4 on them. But that was already known because of this. 1, 2, 5, 6. That's not a 6. Which means oh, this has to be a high-low. This has to be high-low. So then this one, since there's a low, there's a low, there's a low, this one has to be high. I make this one orange. That one's black. That one will also be black. That one will be orange. but it doesn't help me with this. So I think I'm going to actually leave that alone for the moment. I need a 3 as one of these 3, because of the 3 right here. Well, if that was a 3, then you'd put 2 6s. If that was a 3, that would be a 6. So this has to be a 3. So now
Row
3 has to be one of these 2. Row
4 has a 4-5 pair. I'm sorry, row 5. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, row 4.
I just can't count. So 3 is one of those 2, which could be 3 6.
Oh, 5 can be placed in box 3. No, it can't. Never mind. There's 2
Not
spots
quite.
for it, not 1.
Three, 5, and 6. So either this is a 4 and that's a 6, and that's a 1 2 pair, or that's 5 6 and 4. But that's still 4 or 5 there, so that doesn't help. But one of these 2 has to be from 1 and 2, which lines up with that. So then these, I don't know why I'm putting 7, 8, 9, can't be 1 and 2. So they're 3 and the other from 4 and 6. Which means this can't be a 5. And this one can't be a 2. Which means this one can't be a 1. One, 2, 4, 5. That one's not a 6. But then this one, neither of these can be 3. And that's the thing I need to look at. Can't put a 3 because it would have to pair with another 3. Can't put a 3 on either of those because it would force a 6 here. That has to be a high digit, so this is a 3. That's not. And now, purple is red. Which means green is blue. 3, 1 or 2, 1, 2, 4, 6, 5, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 4, 5, 2, 1, not a 4, 6, 5, 6, not a 4, 5 can't pair with 1. It's 4. These are blue, these are red. This one's a blue 1, this is a red 4. Blue 1, red 5. The blue 3 and the red 4. And this one is what fixes it. Red 4s, blue 3s. There we go. And I just didn't fill in all of the options that were necessary. So that slowed me down there. So yeah, that was another really good puzzle, especially with the fun backstory for who it was made for. Yeah, I don't have anything else. Laura Smith says, seems I was wrong about the publishing of the set on Stream Puzzles. They are still under ZetaMath. Sudoku Pad categorizes them differently, though. Mosaic was a fun one. So I think Sudoku Pad, you can enter custom text for up here, because there's been a number of puzzles. I think Puzzle Tank it has them just as Tank on Logic Masters Germany. So it's the name of the puzzle, especially because some of the puzzles on Logic Masters Germany aren't even in the Sudoku Pad app, because it includes a variety of non-Sudoku puzzles. Yeah. All right. With that, I am going to say that is it for today. We actually ended a few minutes early, which is more or less right on time. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the thank you for watching screen. And again, make sure to do the fancy YouTube engagement, liking, commenting, subscribing, ringing the notification bell. And there's also a donation link down below if you feel so inclined. If you want to see more content on the channel, Wednesdays and Saturdays are video games. I am playing the Final Fantasy VII Remake on Wednesday and Saturday this week, but usually Saturdays is cooperative games. Make sure to ring the notification bell so that you get notified when I go live, hopefully, when it actually cooperates. I've heard a number of people saying that the notifications aren't always consistent. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. And we will see you next time.